Hey friends in beauty, if you're a professional makeup artist or beauty pro who is tired of juggling multiple tools to run your business, I got great news for you. Beauty Pro Funnels is here to simplify your life and take your business to the next level. Unlike other platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or Acuity, Beauty Pro Funnels was created by a makeup artist for makeup artists. This is the world's first all-in-one software that helps you book clients, sell your products, and even launch courses all in one place. No need for separate subscriptions that drain your wallet or tools that don't speak your language as a beauty pro. With Beauty Pro Funnels, you're not just getting another booking tool. You're unlocking the ability to create multiple revenue streams, so whether you're behind the chair or not, you're making money. Imagine accepting bookings, selling your beauty products, and offering courses all without the stress of managing separate systems. That could be a big headache. Let me break it down to you one more time. Your website, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your portfolio, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your booking site, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. And your e-commerce site, host it in Beauty Pro Funnels. Want to offer beauty courses or digital products? You can sell them inside of Beauty Pro Funnels, and you'll be able to send invoices, digital contracts, newsletters, and do all of your marketing directly from your Beauty Pro Funnels account. It's mind-blowing. Listen, you're going to save hundreds of dollars every single month by replacing over 10 platforms when you make the switch to Beauty Pro Funnels like Wix, Squarespace, Acuity, WordPress, Vagaro, Honeybooks, 17 Hats, Dubsado, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Kajabi, DocuSign, even Shopify. It's crazy. I know you got at least one of those. And here's the best part. Tayana and her team spent over a year building plug-and-play templates into your account for pretty much everything, so you never have to start from scratch at all. So all of your appointment confirmations, reminders, and payment reminders and stuff like that for your clients, they have already been written out for you. You can even gather reviews and referrals all on autopilot. You'll free up so many hours of time each week so you can focus on what you love, your artistry. Plus, with their mobile app, you can manage your entire business from the palm of your hand. Send invoices, schedule appointments, and even take payments on the go. I believe in Beauty Pro Funnels so much that I recently moved the Friends of Beauty site to Beauty Pro Funnels, and I am loving it. It's a game changer because it's not just a platform. I swear it is like having your personal business assistant designed specifically for makeup artists and beauty pros like you. So here's the deal. If you want to see what all the hype is about, visit getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends to get a personalized tour and see how Beauty Pro Funnels can transform your business today. That's getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends because you deserve the best tool for your beauty business.
Before you even start the grant process, I would say develop what you actually would need the money for, because a lot of people jump into wanting to go for the grant opportunities, but you're losing probably also because your budget is not clear and defined. And that is like a big percentage of what they're grading you on when it comes to a grant applications. Right. AI is not your grant writer because AI does not have the strategy. AI is not giving you the ideas and the collaboration and the alignment, and they don't know the host of the grant personally, where they know the rubric and the ins and outs of opportunities that are out there. There's a way to say everything that makes it bigger and bolder and more attractive. So you just have to understand language and understand how to infuse your language and your vision into someone to make them be passionate, inspired by it, to give up the dollars.
Yeah, run them coins.
Hello. If you can practice enough times, like talking about your brand and writing about your brand until you find that perfect story that really just gets people moving and going, you take that and you run it. You know what I mean? You run that story everywhere. You'll be collecting money for the rest of your life.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty here, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode, I'm super excited because we have Stormi Banks in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. So, Stormi is the founder of the Pink Print Firm, a results driven grant writing agency that specializes in securing debt free grants for ambitious entrepreneurs just like us, Friends in Beauty. Stormi has a proven track record of success in securing grants and funding with $18 million plus in secured grants. I really appreciate how she breaks down complex grant writing processes and makes it super approachable. Y'all, I totally manifested this conversation, so I'm so excited. Welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Stormi.
Hi, Kuya. Thank you for having me. And that was an amazing introduction. It was good.
Yay! Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I feel like if people have been tuning into me for like at least since July, because I took your grant ready seminar, then they have heard your name like so many times. So this is Stormy, y'all. So y'all can put a face to the name. I've been like raving about you like crazy. But you know, get before I get too excited, let's start off with some icebreakers so the Friends of Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do for your brand. First one, just give us three random facts about you.
Three random facts. Okay, I love gardening. I just started my seeds for this year.
Let me do that.
Another fact is that every year in May for my birthday, I do a 30-day solo trip. I've done
Right.
10 countries now, and I'm excited about that. This year, I'm going to do Turkey, so that's going to be fun.
Nice.
And a last fact is I'm the baby girl of five siblings, and I think that my idea of community came from having so many siblings and growing up in a big household. And
Yeah.
so I just love family and I love being around people.
That makes so much sense. I never tied my love of community to having a big family. I have a really, really large family. Six brothers and four or five sisters. I can't keep count anymore.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
that.
lots of nieces and nephews. So I never even tied that
Yeah.
together.
Where do you fall in the lineup?
So on my mom's side, I'm the youngest. It's just I have an older sister, but on my father's side, where all the kids are, I am the third to the last. So I have a younger brother, younger sister. So a lot of older siblings that are very protective and I
Some
got
good wisdom, some good wisdom.
some good wisdom for sure. What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from what you do professionally?
Um, I'm athletic, so that's one thing is like if you know me, I'm very active. I like to work out. I used to play a lot of sports, so that's one thing that I'm good at is just like I could pick up things really quick when it comes to like athleticism.
Okay, look, do it for me too. I'm not athletic at all. I don't claim that at all.
You just have to train. Everything that I've realized in life is like if you train for it, you really do just become good at it. But it's just finding the time to actually want to become good at something, you know?
Right, right. That's so true. Finding the time in this landscape that we're in, it's always like go, go, go.
Yeah, I think that's a disease. I think that people have adapted that because they want to feel productive. And like for me specifically, I'm so over the busy bee lifestyle. Like
Yes.
most of my days now, Kuya is like me chilling, thinking, gardening, just doing things outside of work that bring me that creativity and that drive to really want to keep going in that passion that I need to really be excited about what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis.
That is so true. And I'm really trying to get into that space too of more just ease. I just literally just finished this book last night. I don't know if you can see it. Rest is Resistance. I had to grab it because it just really talks about just resting more and not feeling guilty for resting. Sometimes when we do take those breaks, we feel like, oh my gosh, I have a list of things that I should be doing, but I'm trying to prioritize like me more.
Yeah, and I think it's an intentional rest, right? Like
Mhm.
you're not resting just to be like, I'm not doing anything, right? Like, oh, I just need a day because that's like a burnout. You've done too much and now you're burnt. The
Right.
rest is like, I'm intentionally going to allow my mind to just be free, to think bigger, to not be so focused on task and day-to-day things that I need to get done, because that limits your capacity of how far your mind can really take you and
Mhm.
it's what you produce in the world. So you really just need think space for real.
Absolutely. Think space. I like that. Okay. When is the last time that you did something for the first time? Have you had any new experiences lately?
Man, I think I'm back in the gym like really heavily right now. So I think a lot of the workouts I'm doing is the first time I've like accessed those muscles. My goal is to be able to do like 30 push-ups in a row. So I've never been able to accomplish that. And I'm about to turn 30 this year. So I was like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. So this
Yeah.
is a new experience. I'm developing muscles that I've never even felt before. And I'm sore in places that I'm like, where is this? So
Oh my God.
that's something new. And it's stretching me.
Wow. You're about to be 30.
Yes, girl.
That is the coolest. I wish I could go back.
Where are you at in the lineup?
Girl, I'm 38. I just turned 38 in
Oh,
February.
yes, congratulations. Are you
Thank
feeling
you.
healthy and good and
Oh
positive?
yeah, I feel great. I'm looking forward to the next 2 years.
Bro.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Wow. Oh my God, this is great. Okay. Um, do you have a current mini win or a highlight for the year, a milestone that's leading up to a bigger goal?
Yeah, I would say probably a mini win that I've had recently. I've been staying on track with my reading. I think that's a mini win for me. I love reading. I do the Audible from Amazon, the books, and my goal was to listen to 4 books a month, and so I've been on track with that. I actually just
Great.
picked up 2 physical books that I'm gonna read that are on my desk, which is
Yeah. Outwitting the Devil is
I,
good. I read that.
I listened to it, but
Mm.
I need to read it,
I might need to read it again. That's good. Yeah.
and then I picked up this one, which will be my other book for our April, Rewrite Your Rules by
Uh,
Morgan. She's the owner of Glavity. Um, so
yeah.
I'm excited about those two.
I'm definitely gonna check out that one by Morgan for sure. I listen to her podcast every now and then.
I just went to her book signing last night because her book is coming out actually on Tuesday of this week. I know when we listen to this, it'll already be out, but
Yeah.
it was an incredible conversation. And I also realized like book signings are low key the event you want to go to because that's where you get to really connect with the people you want to connect with. Because
Hmm.
at those large events, the host is so busy. Like they're running around running a huge, large, production. They don't
Yeah.
really have a lot of time to be intimate, which sucks. So those book signings, it's like 40 people max, and they have like just more time to just be flowing in the room and connecting. So that's like a little secret sauce for real.
Yeah, I like that. A little hack, a little
Mhm.
networking hack for y'all.
There you go.
So, last one for the icebreakers. If you weren't the founder of the Pink Print firm, is there anything else you could see yourself doing right now?
I'm doing so much already. I think I'm doing every vision that I've had on my vision board. And, I do real estate, I do the tax lien auctions every month to just help me with my retirement plan and taxes. Hello. And then also, I see opportunity every day in things that I want to do. So, right now, there's a gym that I just signed up for that I'm working out at that doesn't have like a smoothie or juice stand. And so, we're pitching an idea for like a summer smoothie trailer in their parking lot. So I'm doing the things that I'm excited about.
Yes, I'm excited for you. I'm even more excited to know that you're not even, well, you're about to be 30, but it seems like you have accomplished so much already. I don't know if it's like, you know how people have body dysmorphia? I have like age dysmorphia where I be thinking like everybody's my age or I'm like younger than like I'm
Yeah.
younger than what I don't even know what it is. I be like everybody's my age or whatever, but I'm like wow, I'm like really like I don't want to say impressed because I don't want to like diminish what you're doing, but like, I always tell people the young people are killing it. Young foodies out here.
Thank you. I want to still be included in that young people category. I'm trying to stay youthful and in mind, spirit, and body for sure as much as I can. But thank you. I really appreciate that. It's just I think there's a strategy that I've actually used to reach like success. I started Pink Pen in 2020. So it's only been March made 5 years for us, 4 years for us complete. And we're going into our 5th year now. And so I think what happened was I had this strategy where I was like, weekends are for getting ahead, not for resting. And so
Mm,
I utilize my weekends very strategically to put in a little bit of additional work that other people are probably not considering or doing or taking the time for. And it's collapsed the time that it would have taken me to reach these milestones by light years. And I just think that honestly has what has propelled me to go a little bit further in the period of time that we have, because we've done some really dope things at Pink Print, like really quickly, and it just is like we've been turning the wheel, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I'm so excited because I am a client of the Pink Print firm. So I initially saw you on Donnie Wiggins' podcast
Okay.
so let me tell you my grant story. So the first grant that I got was actually awarded to me. I did not apply for it. And it really like just unlocked this new passion in me to like seek out grants and seek out educators and things like that. So that's how when I saw your interview, it just like sparked something in me and I signed up for the Get Grant Ready seminar in July. I think it was
Mhm.
in July that you had last year and just been like hooked ever since. Got the one of the packages, got my grant proposal, and just
Yeah.
been like sharing with my community really the importance and yeah, the importance of us applying for funding because a lot of them didn't even realize that we could get grants as beauty pros. I think the mindset is kind of small in the sense of like if it doesn't say beauty pro, then it's not for us. So I'm like, no, we can get like female entrepreneur grants,
Mhm.
black women, like all the things. So I'm just like really it's that's why I was like so excited to talk to you because I actually talked to you for my review when I
Yeah.
had
Really
my grant proposal, conversation or
our
whatever.
combo.
It's like
Yeah.
I totally manifested this conversation. I was so excited. But $18 million plus in secured grants is a major, like big deal. When you crossed your first million, like what went through your mind?
Honestly, I was like, okay, now I know that the concept works. And now I know that like it's needed and that we can do this. And at first, like when we hit our first million, it wasn't even with us actually doing the grant writing services, because we, for the first year of Pink Print, we just taught free classes like on live Instagram, on Zooms, like how you came to the Get Grant Ready seminar. We was just teaching, like we was just like, y'all, this is the information, here's how it's accessible, making it
Yeah.
as fun as possible, because it's boring, right? When you think of grants, you're like, oh Lord, I'm about to be on that computer all day filling out applications. And we try to make it a little bit more exciting and fun and like homegirlish. So to hear you just talk about your experience with grants and like having that experience of actually winning, it creates this like worthiness in you as a business owner to know that what you're doing is fruitful and that it can get you somewhere further and that other people recognize what you're doing is great. So it just
Yeah.
is, it's so amazing. And to share the information after, like that's what community is. It's about sharing things that work and that are reliable and that you've loved and enjoyed. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's what it really did for me. It really opened my eyes. Like, oh, somebody thinks I'm worthy of this because I was receiving an award, and then as a surprise, they awarded me with a $10,000 grant. It was Black Beauty Roster and Tarte Cosmetics together. They awarded me, and I was in the room with my mentors, like boo-hooing, all these people in the room boo-hooing. And
Yeah.
then the second grant, I've only won one on my own, but it's a major one, another $10,000 one with the NAACP and L'Oreal Inclusive Beauty Fund grant. And I just came off of a crazy experience with them. None of the grant recipients, none of us knew that they had an in-person experience included in this. So I just went to that about I think 2 weeks ago now in Florida, and
Amazing.
it was phenomenal. The experience that they laid out for us and everything, and just knowing that someone catches the vibe of whatever my vision is, it's
Right.
just like so reaffirming. So I just really want beauty pros to lock in.
No, seriously, the money is out there, the opportunities are out there. And even if, like how you said, you didn't know that you were getting the money on the first grant, those in-kind grants where they're giving out education or an opportunity to be in a room, I'm telling you, I try to tell my clients to go for it, but they be like, we need money. And I'm like, girl, this could open up money doors. Like, you got to
Yeah.
get the rooms too. You got to network, do the pitch competitions, like, show up. And if you can practice enough times like talking about your brand and writing about your brand until you find that perfect story that really just gets people moving and going, you
Yeah.
take that and you run it, you know what I mean, you run that story everywhere, you'll be collecting money for the rest of your life. You just have
Yeah.
to figure out, how do I put this in a way that is understandable for other people, that they can be inspired by, and that they're passionate to get behind. I'm telling you, that's literally all I get to do all day, is just find that gem in everyone's story and amplify it in a way that helps them win money. And it's just the most rewarding process when people are kind, because sometimes
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
nah, but when people are kind and it's just a good experience, it's just, I love it. I love what I do.
Yes, I love that. Finding the gem in your story and continuing to just tell that story over and over. Okay. Okay. I'm getting
That's the vibes.
it. So what was your inspiration ultimately for starting the Pink Print firm?
Yeah, it's a tongue twister, right? You know, I was in a time, if you watch Donnie, then you've heard like the story of
Mhm.
being robbed by my best friend. And that happened August of 2020. And so from there, I was just kind of in a position where I needed me, I needed a pink print. And so
Mhm.
I was trying to raise money because at that time I wanted to start my hair salon in Atlanta, but she had robbed me of my seed money. So I was like, how can I get money with what I have right now? Right. I didn't have the best credit at the time. I didn't have the tax returns showing that I was making hundreds of $1,000s to get the funding that I was looking for.
Mhm.
And I was just like, what else is there? And just on a rabbit hole, by the grace of God, I was able to like jump on this congressional hearing where they were talking about all these budgets. And I'm like, multi-million dollar, billion-dollar budgets, where's the money going? So I just
Mhm.
started researching, and ChatGPT wasn't around then. So it wasn't like I'm ChatGPT and where's the money at? I'm like really getting deep diving into research. And then it just sparked it. Once I started applying to grants, I won my 10th grant. And I'm like, oh, this is real. I'm like, y'all got to get some of this, right? So that's
Yeah.
I'm just like on live during the pandemic. All the coaches are coming out, they're talking about credit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go this other route and talk about
Right.
non-dilutive, debt-free funding that business owners can get that I've received. And I'm just going to talk from the perspective of what I did. Like, this is what I did that worked. Started sharing that story with people, and they were like, all right, well, can you just do it for us? And then I was like, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, I
can.
can.
And that's what created the actual full service grant writing agency. But the main, for me, what inspired it was I just wanted to educate people. I wanted to share that this stuff is possible. I want to reform the mindset behind how we have to get funding, the dependency that so many business owners have on
Yeah.
banks and financial institutions, and just kind of empowering them to know, yo, we can tell our stories and get money without them having to give us a yes or a no. You know what I mean? So that was the gung ho behind it all.
I love it. Did you like go on to take any like grant writing classes or anything, or everything that you know is just from your experience of applying?
Yeah, after I really was like, yeah, let me do this for y'all. That's when I was like, I gotta dive deep and get some credentials. So I went and got my grant writing certification, which is like a 1,500 hour program that you go through like development, procurement, budgets. Then I started just like getting in the rooms, networking to like find some relationships to kind of understand what's the back end of this process. Like, we get it, it's an application, but what are they thinking? Like, how do I really, solidify this to get results from my clients? And then also I have a mentor who's Latasha Brooks. She does like government contracting, grant writing. And so I just stood under her for a long time and just really like developed my skill sets. And then over time, I found my own formula and what really worked for me. And then that's how we created like the full Pink Print firm and have gotten the success we have today.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Would you say it's necessary for somebody like me who wants to continue to apply for grants to take a grant writing course, or just whoa, I was like frozen for a second. Should I take a grant writing course or anything like that, or I should just be fine with my proposal and like just keep on tweaking what I'm already doing?
I think once you get the proposal and you understand like how to kind of tweak it, like you've gone to a Grit Grant Ready seminar, so you understand how the process works and how the mindset works. I think after there, the goal should be networking. Like,
Okay.
you should be starting to build relationships with like city officials, people that are in, the budget departments and are the treasurers and are hosting these dope opportunities. It's getting in the room because now you have the story. Now
Mm,
like you have the material to do it really quickly and efficiently. Now you
yeah.
just need to kind of really build upon like people knowing who you are in those spaces.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As far as the people that you have worked with, I know like we mentioned, like grants could be really intimidating. Some people don't even know where to start. But what are some common misconceptions that you've seen with the people that you work with that keeps them, well, that held them back from applying for grants like sooner?
A lot of my for-profit clients think that they have to be a nonprofit. So that was something that held a lot of people back for a long time, is thinking they had to be nonprofit in order to apply. Grants are for everybody. You could be making money and still be winning grant opportunities. I think that was a huge one for a lot of people. And then also just knowing, do I qualify? Like, is my business qualify? And I try to tell people I have won grants for people who all they had was a business, business registration, a website, and a social media account, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you can have those three basic things, you can start winning. Now, of course, as you start winning small amounts of money, you put it back into the business, you grow, you develop, and then you start going for some bigger grant opportunities. But it's just knowing that there is no limit. It's that thinking big perspective of like, what's really possible for me, and how do I just find the who that knows how to put this in a way that will help me get to where I'm going quicker. Because one thing that I've found is that a lot of people are trying to do the grant thing on their own because ChatGPT is so popping and popular. But what's happening is they're not getting the results that they're looking for. And so then they stop thinking that grants work. They stop
Right.
believing that they can win. They're like, I'm constantly getting denied. I don't know what I'm doing. But there's so much more strategy behind going for grants. We did a 5-day seminar teaching grant strategy. If we got to talk for 5 days, there's a lot to be learned.
Right.
So, it's like, it's not just a ChatGPT thing. It's like, you really got to know what's going on out here. This is a craft. This is a skill. It's an art.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like to your point, that's why a lot of the people I've talked to, the reason why they don't, I guess, continue to apply is like, oh, it must not work because I haven't won. But I'm like, no, Stormy said, like Stormy said, it might not be that your application was bad. It just might be that, they just chose someone whose story resonated more or connected with the vision of the brand more. I be telling them about you all the time.
Yeah, you got to tell them, because you need that voice in your head. Because
Yeah.
every time, you go through something or you get denied, it hurts, right? For
Mhm.
someone to tell you no after you put what you thought was your best foot forward. No one likes that. But what happens is you need those voices in your head to be like, okay, this doesn't diminish my vision. This doesn't diminish what I'm doing or the impact that I'm making. This just showcases that there's opportunity for growth in some area of my application or my approach to get the money. How can
Yeah.
I take this opportunity to then grow better and be able to secure it for the next time?
Yeah, for sure. I polled my audience on Instagram and told them that I was interviewing you and if they had any questions. And nobody dropped a question. So I
Really?
was like, something's not right. I'm like, if y'all don't have questions, then what is the amount of views that I had? I'm like, nobody had a question. So I'm like, maybe they don't know what to ask. So for someone who has no idea how to approach grants, what's the first thing, like step one, what should they do?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't ask questions, even in my seminars too. So don't feel bad. We've had
Okay. I was
people in
like, y'all, I got a story coming up. Like,
because that it's newer to a lot of people, so they just don't understand, just even what to say. So I think if you are first looking into getting grants, before you even start the grant process, I would say develop what you actually would need the money for. Because a lot of people jump into wanting to go for the grant opportunities, but you're losing probably also because your budget is not clear and defined. And that is like a big percentage of what they're grading you on when it comes to a grant application. So sit down and really map out, not just like, oh, I could use $10,000 for that, or I could do 5,000 here. Like, okay, if we want to grow our business in 2025 to X amount of revenue or X amount of memberships, whatever your goal is, what will take us there? What's the vehicle that will take us there? And how do we start adding the support systems to that vehicle? How do we put the wheels on it? How do we get the windshield? How do we get the engine going? Like, really figure it out. Because once you come to me and I know, okay, this is your vehicle, I know how to frame it and shape it and develop it so that it can win money. But if you're just like, I'm just a beauty pro and I just need some money for some marketing,
yeah,
that's not the strategy to help us really be able to win. Because yeah, we can go and ask for marketing and you may get lucky and win, but we're not trying to have a luck and hope, application. We're trying to have, we've procured this thing to where we know it's like an 80% chance this is going through. Like, we're pretty strong about it. We can't guarantee it, of course, but we're like, this is top notch with our expertise and your vision. Like, it's a good partnership. So I would say start there, honestly.
yeah. I love that advice for someone because some beauty pros also feel like, well, I just service clients. I know some grants want some kind of community impact or to see how you're influencing just the community or just a vision like that. For people who just service clients in the salon or just freelance or anything like that, how can they frame their applications to, I guess, fit the vision of certain grants like that?
There's like a few main ways that you can do that. Regardless of what you do in the business, there's always like, if you're servicing clients, how can you impact your clients more, like through the whole industry of beauty, right? So for instance, I have a client who works with ladies with alopecia. And so she wanted to develop a alopecia awareness podcast. She wanted to be able to have her clients come on there. She wanted to be able to develop a alopecia wig line that has more comfortable netting on the back end. She had these revolutionary ideas of how she wanted to impact her everyday client that she
Yeah.
works with. And so it's like focusing in there. What do your clients need? How can you amplify their voices? How can you better service them through product or education or through events? There's so many different initiatives that you can do, but you do have to do more than just being behind the chair. You know what I mean? Like, as a business owner, you want to be creating more distribution channels to not only gain new clients, but to serve your clients as well. We're in that industry. So how can you do that without, starting a new business or breaking the bank, but just the small things that you do on a day-to-day basis that amplify the voices and the people that you serve?
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that because of course we have big visions. I could run you down the list of the things that I want to do, but it always comes back to the funding for me. So that's why I got into grants because I was doing a lot of events. Friends in Beauty started off as networking events first. So just in doing events, I was always spending my money. I'm like, I'm tired of spending my money. Sometimes I don't, well, most times I don't break even. So it's really just me spending money to build my community, which they love. But I'm like, okay, I'm broke afterwards. So that's why I started to tap into grants to fund, that leg of my business with the events and everything like that. Now I have the podcast and it's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, you're doing the things. And also look into for the event sponsorship because you've done it multiple times. It's like there's a lot of sponsors that are out here, probably stuff that you use on a day-to-day basis or that your clients use that are looking for those introductions to large or mid-sized communities where they can have that more organic, intro to be a little bit more trusted when they come in. So look
Yeah.
into stuff like the everyday stuff that you use. Those events, man, I ain't paying for no event these. You know what I mean? Like somebody else wants what I'm offering.
Yes. And I just gotta tap into that more, that mindset of like how you just said, someone that's looking for that introduction. Like somebody's out there probably looking for exactly what I'm trying to do. So I just
Exactly.
gotta like tap into that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm,
You got to get in the room and just talk about it. Like that's what I've learned. It's like you just got to talk about it. Even if your room, like at first is social media, in which I encourage everyone to get off social media and like get in person. But even if
yeah.
your room is social media at first or like webinars or whatever the case may be, like you have to talk about it every chance you get because you just never know who's around listening, who's like, oh shoot, that's a perfect synergy for me. Oh, let's collaborate. Oh, let's do this. Oh, I got that. You know what I mean? So it's just constantly tell people what it is.
Yeah, that's why I started Friends in Beauty too, because I felt like people relied too heavily on social media and didn't the connections that I made in person have taken me further than the ones I made on social media. I just say it like that. Like every major opportunity I've gotten as a makeup artist has come directly from being in the room.
Agreed.
Yeah, so yeah.
Agreed.
In your experience with grants now, what is like some learning lessons that you learned along the way, maybe from your mentor or just for applying for grants yourself that has shaped your approach to the pink print or, your process now for getting wins?
Yeah, I think I'm really eager about like sales. Like sales is a thing that is really big for me in my business in terms of like the approach to it. I don't like feeling like a salesy person. I like to have like the warmth there and like really help you make a decision that you feel good about because I don't want you to be mad, with whatever the outcome is because I can't guarantee anyone anything, right? So the least I want is for them to have a good experience. And so with that being said, one of the approaches that we utilize is using the one grant proposal for a long period of time and kind of tweaking it to each individual grant, but using the same like format and the same verbiage for the most part on every opportunity because it allows you to see the data. And a lot of people are not thinking in this format because if you don't know what is and is not working, you're constantly throwing darts at the wall trying to find the pinpoint. But
Yeah.
the moment that you can actually say, okay, I've used this proposal for 3 months and I've applied to 10 grants and I have not won any of the 10 grants. I've reached out, I've gotten feedback. Now I can take the feedback and I can rework the verbiage or rework the messaging based on the 10 grants that I did not win. The next 10 grants you apply for, guaranteed you're going to win one because you're adapting and refining the messaging. That's literally all you're trying to do. So I just think it's using one proposal for a consistent amount of time so you can gather the data and better strengthen your application.
Yes. Okay. I love that. No bouncing around.
Hello, we don't like the chair hoppers.
Don't bounce around. Oh, this is another. I want to circle back to the AI thing because that's a question I get a lot when if I do talk about grants, with people using AI, for their applications, and I always tell them like, of course, places like Hello Skip, they have AI incorporated into their platform, so they actually encourage it. But what advice would you give as far as using AI and how certain grant, I guess, people who provide the grants view the use of AI in the
Mhm.
application?
Well, yeah, I think Hello Skip is a great platform. We partner with them a lot. They're actually sponsoring a $5,000 pitch competition at our
Nice.
women's marketplace in April 19th. So shout out to the whole Skip team. But
Yes.
also, if you look at the AI that they have on their platform, you have to write first, right?
Right.
To give an answer, and then you can refine it with AI. So AI is not just coming up with a full thing for you to say. So you have to initially already know what you need to say and how it needs to be said, and then AI can refine. So
Yeah.
I think AI is an amazing tool. My team uses it for, grammar corrections. My team uses it for research. We write everything our own selves, but we use AI. The only thing is that people are depending on it as their grant writer. AI is
Right.
not your grant writer because AI does not have the strategy. AI is not giving you the ideas and the collaboration and the alignment, and they don't know the host of the grant personally, where they know the rubric and the ins and
Mhm.
outs of opportunities that are out there. I've written tens and thousands of grant opportunities at this point. And so it's just the way that I'm going to think about it. The average person won't be able to feed AI my thought process. So
Right.
a lot of people in the grant space, they're utilizing zero GPT tools for application review processes to
Mhm.
weed out applications that are utilizing AI in the sense of writing. With budgets being cut right now, especially, they're wanting to really find those people who are serious about investing in their business. And I think one of the easiest ways to figure out if someone is serious is, are you willing to even just write for your business? You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, if you're not willing to even write for your business, are you really going that hard? So I just think that, right now, is the best time to learn a new skill set. And of course, the skill set of getting money for your business is never going to go out of style. And just, utilizing the right tools in the right places for you to get the success you're looking for.
Well, sure. So these zero GPT, they can tell somebody use AI for the whole thing, or like how are they detecting it? If they just copied and pasted AI, or if you just use it a little bit?
It scans all the text and it can come up to say like this sentence is AI, or like this paragraph is AI written. Like, it can detect this based on the sentence structure and everything.
So if you are using AI, should you just go back and edit everything?
Yeah, you're gonna have to refine the whole thing, because even just leaving one sentence as is, it'll pick it up.
Wow, I love that. Is so good to know. I love that. I'm like a little techie nerd a little bit too. That's why I'm like, ooh, how they doing this? I like that a lot. Okay. You mentioned the funding is kind of slim now, especially with the whole DEI things, the DEI rollbacks. I know you touched a little bit about it on your platform on Instagram, but how should we be approaching grants in this season now where maybe funding may be cut for female owners, black owners, and things like that, minorities?
Yeah, I think there's two things happening, right? It is real. DEI programs are getting cut back, and there are some budget cuts that are limiting supply in some areas of grants that were available in the past. But there's also a gung ho of people who are like, "Oh no, we ain't with that." So now they're coming up with these new programs and opportunities to kind of, balance out what's been happening. So it's happening kind of like twofold. I think that there's nothing to be scared about. I think it's just about, again, refining your messaging, because people are scared to say that they're a black owned business because they're like, oh, I'm gonna not get the grant or not get the opportunity, or that they serve black people or black females or whatever the case may be. But the thing is that you have to realize is there's a way to say everything. There's a way to say everything that makes it bigger and bolder and more attractive. So you just have to understand language and understand how to infuse your language and your vision into someone to make them be passionate, inspired by it, to give up the dollars.
Yeah, random coins.
Hello.
I love it. So you have to tell us about the women's marketplace event that you have coming up. I saw it on your page. You're always just helping all these women, all these people get coins and the money and the funding, but tell us about that event that's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really geared around same synergy of what we do on a day-to-day basis. It's a huge marketplace to give women entrepreneurs a platform to sell their products, sell their services, get in front of an audience of people that want to also meet them. And then also there's the seminars portion of it. We have multiple panels going on that day for education, grant seminar taught by me live, the pitch competition, which will be amazing to witness and get that feedback and see how it works, and then just the networking and the connecting and the inspiration that'll be in the room. I mean, if you've ever been to a Stormy Banks event, a Pink Print event, like we always just go really hard for our people. Even our virtual seminars, we try to really come in excellence. So it's just going to be a powerful event. And the speakers that we have were really curated in terms of like, I want to know that they're going to give what I need to be gave, because I
Mhm.
don't play when it comes to, I want you to at least leave with one nugget, right? One nugget, one relationship, one new brand that you love and trust. Like something has to be a takeaway, because I want you to leave with your ROI. Like, what was your return of investment by coming to this event?
Yes. Oh my God. I had so many questions that went through my head when you were talking, but I lost them. But I'm so excited for all the people that are going to be in the to be there. I know when you said something about the pitch competition, I was like, oh my gosh, because I totally saw you and Ellie's grant on Hello Skip. And then when I saw the pitch part, I was like, I don't know if I want to pitch.
No, you gotta get into it. You gotta get into it.
But I was like, it's one of those things I only felt like that because I was like, I never pitched before. But I also told somebody recently, it was like, I don't think I'll be bad at it though. Like, I just never done it before. So just that part when the application was like, oh, I was a little nervous to apply for this one because if I, go through to the next round, then I'm gonna have to do this. Do you get
Yeah.
people that do that a lot?
I mean, we've done this particular grant. This is our third cycle now. So we had 10 finalists from each last grant that we did, and they get up there and they're nervous and they're scared and they're doing it anyway because they understand that the money is vital. And if you can win the money and you just have to get over a small fear, like, well, why would you hold yourself back? And at the end of the day, even if you don't win based on the pitch, you've been on live with me and Ellie where there's hundreds of people watching, or you've come to the event and you've pitched live in front of hundreds of people that now know your brand. On top of that, we save the live, so you don't know there's thousands of people that rewatch that opportunity. You get in front of companies and brands like Hello Skip and Ellie Talks Money. Now we're reading about your business. We're seeing, I have a lot of partnerships that I've done just from people applying to grant opportunities.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you get feedback, right? You get like live exact feedback on what'd you do right, what'd you do wrong, how can you strengthen this for the next time. And like I said before, you should be utilizing those opportunities for growth. And if the outcome is that you win the money, well, cherry on top.
Right. Oh my God. Are y'all going like Shark Tank style? Y'all gonna come hard with to the people, or y'all gonna be a little soft?
No, no. I'm always in the mood for empowerment. Now, I do think that there is real talk, like there's some things where you have to be like, hey, you didn't come prepared for this. Like this isn't what I want to see from you ever again. And if it needs to be said, it's going to be said, because it's just always a way to say everything. But I'm always in the mood for empowerment, but I'm not going to not say the things that do need to be said to help you be better.
Yeah, for sure. So what are you looking forward to the most from that event?
Oh, probably the grant seminar section. I love teaching. And I wasn't teaching for a little while so I could have more think space. I took about like 4 months off from teaching after the last grant seminar you came to.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to like be in the room, to feel the energy. Like I could feel it now, like I could feel it now, the transformation that's going to happen, the light bulbs that are going to go off, the information that's going to be given, the people that are taking action right there in the room, signing up, doing the thing, going for the, I
Yeah.
feel it. And I'm just like, I can't, if you came to a grant seminar and now you're talking about grants all the time and you're successful with grants, if I could get even more people to be on that same vibe and we could like really transform the way we think about funding. And then the ultimate goal, right, is that we get so transformed that we no longer even want to depend on grant applications. We want to have our own hub and destination for grants, where it's like we
Yes.
utilize a membership fee, or we utilize, everyone putting in a monthly whatever it is amount of money, and now we're granting people on our own within our community that we want to support consistently. So it's just like, how do we, it's stepping stones, right? First I just teach you about it, introduce you to it, get you comfortable with it, get you some success, and then we start taking it to the further ideas and the vision that really could be alive.
Yes, I'm so happy that you mentioned that because you're jogging my memory. So I feel like when you get closer to 40, you see. The you just start forgetting things, but you definitely jogged my memory of something I wanted to ask you because I did see that you have a leg of your business where you, of course, award grants, and that sparked something in me like, oh, I could do that too. So I've always been curious as far as how that works. As far as when I get to the point where I do want to start offering grants under Friends in Beauty or a nonprofit sector of Friends in Beauty for beauty pros in particular that get grant funding. Is there like some kind of special way I have to set that up, or did I just say, oh, I got $1,000 right now. I want to do a micro grant and just give away money?
Yeah, I mean, you could do it very simply like that, but I think you have to think about what is your ultimate goal with giving the grant away because you do want to find someone that you can be invested into, like the businesses that we've given grants to. Like, I really love their businesses. I really like watch them, follow up with them, check on them. Like, I want them to do great and be well.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's like, for me, we did it as an under a nonprofit because we give a lot of 30% of our income from Pink Print. We give back to our nonprofit to be able to offer these grant opportunities. And that's our commitment and has been for 3 years. And
Mm-hmm.
so we do it that way. And then we really just structure the grant programs based on, who do we really want to support in this season? Just who have we been hearing is needing it. And so we'll do those women entrepreneur grant opportunities through Pink Print.
Got you. Okay, okay. And one thing I do love about you and your brand is that it seems like you're always collaborating with people successfully. So I would love to know, like, just your key to doing that, your key to successful collaborations and like leveraging the relationships that you've built over the years to produce these events and education and all of those things.
Well, what would you say is a successful collaboration? That way I can know. Like,
When it actually goes through, it makes it out the group chat.
okay,
Right.
gotcha. So,
It makes it from planning to actually like fruition. Because I get a lot of people that reach out to me sometime and want to do things and collab, but I think I probably had like one successful in my mind collaboration so far. It just never kind of, you know, boils over into a real event. Or one thing I tell people too is I have a lot of connections, but I had to be better at leveraging them, asking people for help and, bringing people in to do those things.
yeah, for sure. I think for me, well, it's easy for me to collaborate because I love learning from other people. Like a collaboration is like a free mentorship. You get to see what systems they're using, what techniques they're doing, what strategies they're offering, like their whole back end, just from you guys like utilizing your mind space together. And then on top of that, you take less risk, right? You take less risk when you have someone else coming in with you. So collaborating is like it's like a game changer and an easy avenue to take when you have limited resources. I think how to do it successfully is like you have to vet the people that you're partnering with, right? Do they really have the capacity? Is the partnership fruitful enough for both of us to actually really say yes? What do we both really want to get out of this? And just understanding that stuff. So, like the initial call that I have typically when I'm doing a collaboration is just like, what's the real girl? Like, what's going on? What you trying to
Right.
do for real? You know what I'm saying? And then from there, when we can uncover what am I doing? What are you doing? What are we already trying to promote on our own? How can we utilize the collaboration to just benefit what we're already doing separately? Then you really be like, okay, this is super beneficial. I got to make time for this. I got to make room. And then it's just following up, like setting plans and being like I put stuff on people's calendars. Like I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
this day we got another meeting. This day this needs to be done. This day get the social graphics ready. This day make sure the forms is ready. Like that way everyone's held accountable and we know like we're doing this thing. Like if you get on my call and take my time up, we're doing it because I don't get
Right.
the calls. So yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. Put it on the calendar, have a plan and execute.
And vet the collaboration because if they
Vet.
don't have the capacity, it's never going to go nowhere.
True, true. Where are you from?
So I lived in Brooklyn, New York for majority of my life. I've lived in Michigan, I've lived in Tennessee, I've lived in Atlanta. I'm kind of from all over at this point.
Wow, you're just a global citizen.
Hello.
So were you a hairstylist or did you just want to open a salon before you were doing the pink print?
I did hair. Yeah, I was in New York doing fashion weeks. I was, top performing stylist in my salon in Lower East Side. So I was behind the chair.
So I know you started during the pandemic, so of course you weren't able to do hair and everything at that time, but what made you like do a total pivot from hair to grants?
It's COVID really. So I had a mobile hair salon, which is just hair, where we would do appointments at people's homes, gyms, office, kind of wherever they were at. And when COVID hit, we had to shut all of that down. Like it was non-essential worker, not it was not essential. So that closed down, but I still had big girl bills. So I was like, okay, well, where are we going? What's happening? I
Yeah.
went down to Memphis because my friend was still running her salon. People were still coming in. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to just, make my money here. Got that pop in, saved up that money. I was like, I'm going to go to Atlanta, just open a salon and call it a day. But it didn't work out that way. Right. And so what happened was during that time after I got robbed, I just really was sitting and thinking and developing and like really saying to myself, like, do I really want to keep doing hair? Like, is this really the space? Like, is this where I want my life to keep going? And I was just getting a lot of downloads from God. And he was just like letting me know, like, I might have something else for you. Like, I might want you to amplify the voice of something else that could be beneficial in this season. And I just was obedient. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk in it and walk by faith. And it came out, like I said, it was just free classes at first. Like, it wasn't
Mhm.
supposed to be all of this. Like, I didn't know it was going to be, we're at $19 million now, 19 million secured back for the community, $350,000 that we've given out in nonprofit grant support to our community, events
Wow.
with thousands of people, hundreds of people in person. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea, but
Yeah.
I knew that I knew at that time that I was in a place where I didn't have enough opportunity to not say yes to stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yes, 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 Lord. Yes, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that's been my secret sauce, is just saying yes to God and being obedient and following the path, even when it looks crazy, when you like, okay, I only got X amount of dollars in my account and you want me to do that? That's $1 million idea.
Okay.
Got $1 million $1 million deposit. So it's just really figuring out like how to say yes more and just following the path, and the opportunities will create themselves.
Yes, that is absolutely phenomenal. All the success you had. And I really feel like saying yes is like a snowball effect. Some things you really can't plan for. It just happens just from you taking one step one day at a time, and then things just continue to happen.
It's true.
Wow. I love that. $19 million. What's the largest grant that you've all gotten somebody at one time?
So we've done collaborative grants that we've done multi-million dollar projects for people. So,
Hmm.
we didn't do those ones all on our own. Those take larger teams, but we've done multi-million dollar projects.
Okay, I love it. Get the coins, get the coins. What has been like the biggest challenge so far in navigating a new space, coming from beauty and then jumping into a new field, I guess?
I think it's really just the typical learning curves, of just like something new that you've never done before, and you just have that doubt or that fear, or just those considerations of like, are people taking me serious, or am I good enough, or is it going to work? It's just really the mindset around, I'm new at this and I know
Yeah.
I'm not that good for real, but I'm trying to convince somebody else that I'm good, but I
Mm.
don't believe it. So it's the belief system of knowing like that you can also be transparent, be honest. Like if you're a new stylist, you can be like, hey, I'm a new stylist. I'm discounting my prices because I'm trying to get practice in. Like, I'm not saying I'm just
Yeah.
in here painting your head, but I am like trying to perfect a skill set that I'm not yet developed in perfectly, and allowing them the opportunity to say yes to that. And then you guys collaborating on that, right? I have some clients that I've worked with when I was first starting Pink Print that I was like, look, I'm gonna do this for you for $50 because I just need to get the reps in. I need to put the work in. I need to start building. And we've had
Yeah.
amazing success with those clients that end up being with us long term still to this day, who've raised six figures in grant opportunities, since they've been with us. So it's really just, those learning curves in the beginning, and just being honest and transparent about what's happening, what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Is it do you say a grant application a day keeps the debt away? Is that what you say?
Say one a day, keep the debt away.
Oh my, I tell people that I'm like, Stormy said, I was like, Stormy said this, but Stormy said you should be applying for at least one grant a day. People are like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, it seems daunting, but it's easier when you have like the Hello Skips, the Hello Alice's, the Grant Watches, when you have the databases, there's so many grants on there. It's so easy to do one grant a day, especially when you have your proposal. You're just like, it's already there. So it's daunting when you're like, I don't have no resources. I don't know even what to do. How am I supposed to do one a day? Then yes.
Mhm. When I tell you I be on that YouTube live every Tuesday and Friday waiting for my $1,000. I be telling everybody about it. I'm like, I'm sitting right here at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time trying to see. I said, they forgot to call my name again this week.
Part. One of the ladies from our community, she just won last week, and she came in the community was like, "Y'all, I got that skip rack," and she was too hype. You
I love that. That's great because I'm like $1,000. I mean, I could use $1,000.
know what to do. You know what to do. I could flip $1,000. Okay.
Yes, yes. Oh, one thing the lady said, when I went to the event a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to one of the DEI, I forget her title, but she works in DEI at Salon Centric, but she was the one who basically communicated with like the NAACP and them to get us out the money. Like she was like the middle person, but she was saying that because I told her I took a portion of the grant and I did an event with it and just like building community and everything like that. But she was telling me that I should be using it to basically flip it, like to make it into more money. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Should
Right.
like in the future I be trying to do a product or something like that?
Yeah, that's literally what a grant is supposed to be for. You are trying to get this money infused into your business. That's why I tell people when you're going for a grant, don't tell them you got all these bills to pay. Don't tell them you want all this debt. Nobody wants to invest in that. Grantors are really investors. They're investors that all they want is impact on return, but they're still looking to invest. Do not get it wrong. This is not charity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going for grants, you should, that's why I said the first thing you should do is have a strategy of what you would use it for, because you want to make money off this money. This is a opportunity for you to get money that you don't have to pay back, that's non-dilutive, debt-free, and you can use it to put into your business to make money off of it, hosting an event, an educational product, creating webinars, creating product line, whatever it may be, make money.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally an investment to literally be able to make more revenue. So that's why I'd be like, girl, if you don't get into them grants.
Yes, get into it. And one of the people that won, I did an episode last week where I invited a few of the young ladies who won the grant with me because it was like 40 of us that won the grant. So we was just talking about our experience and everything like that. But one of them said she's still sitting on a good portion of the
Girl,
money. And I thought about you in my head. I'm like, I know Stormy said we're supposed to use it within the same like
calendar.
calendar year. I know some people do that though, because sometimes maybe they don't know exactly what they want to use it for, so they sit on the money.
Or you got to be at the Get Grant Ready seminars. You got to know. You have to know the things. You got to know
Mhm.
because now she's gonna be getting taxed on that. You know what I'm saying? If she don't use it in the calendar year, so
Yeah.
you know it's more than just winning money. It's that the strategy is not to win the money. The strategy is to get money that you can actually make money with. Like that's the overarching is to build a sustainable company, and that's why talk so much about grants is because I think that it provides the most sustainability. If we're really talking about financial freedom, that's freedom, the freedom to stay lean in your business, the freedom to grow without overdrafting your accounts or going into really bad partnerships with financial institutions for capital or paying too much for money. Money can get expensive when you're borrowing it. So it's just creating a sustainable business is the long-term effect, and grants is just a good way to like help that vehicle come alive.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. I'm totally looking forward to winning more grants in the future. It's just a lot of fun to use other people's money
It
and
is.
be stress free because what it did for me, because I was in like tight positions with using my money for everything. I only do makeup. So I'm using my money from my clients and I'm supposed to be using for bills and all these things just to make fetch happen. But it really when I got those grants, it put me at ease at the time because I'm like, oh, now I can use the grant money to do the things that I need to do for my business and not try to make just like penny pinching, like make everything happen just from me doing clients. And I don't want to continue to do that's where it is too. I'm at a place where I'm kind of like that's why I was asking you those questions about pivoting because I'm not necessarily excited anymore about makeup in that way. I just do it because I can and I can make money from it. So I'm just trying to start to put things in place so I can make my exit from like actually doing clients. So the grants are helping with that.
That's amazing. Well, are you based in Atlanta?
I'm in DC.
In DC? What, are you coming to the marketplace?
I will be able to make it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Is it let's talk after this. Is it because of the time frame or something else?
It's the time frame. Let me see. Something on my calendar, but yeah, I think it's a time frame. I have to look again.
Yeah, let's look again at that because I would love for you to come and just share that, especially as a pink print client and like going through the process, coming to the seminars, like people need to hear that from people that aren't me, who's, the company owner, but someone
Yeah.
who's actually gone through the process and has had success and understands like, no, this creates a level of freedom that you just don't get anywhere else. So I would love to have you come, and do that.
Yeah, you could exhale when you get a grant.
For real. It's really freedom. That's what I tell people all the time.
Absolutely. So, what are you working on your legacy to be with the Pink Print firm?
Yeah, we want to be known for exactly what we're doing right now. Having a community of women entrepreneurs who are debt free and are growing sustainable businesses. Like that's literally the outcome. Now, where we'll go with that in the future, who knows? Right now, we're currently working on franchising to bring that opportunity out to our community. That, if we have people like you who are passionate about what Pink Print does and how we're doing it, and want to own a leg in DC and have a pink print franchise in DC where you're offering that support and that education out in that realm, then we want to offer the opportunity for not only to share the commitment and the values, but also the revenue. Pink Print's doing really well and it's a great model, super simple, easy to learn. So we want to offer that. So that's currently what's on the dockets.
Nice. I love that. Sign me up. Look. Yeah. So we have the event that's coming up. Is there anything else that you want to share that's coming up?
No, I'm excited for April 19th, Women's Marketplace in Atlanta, Georgia. We encourage people to be in the room, show up, get outside.
Get in the room. You never know who you can meet. Even if it's the person sitting next to you, you don't know who anybody knows. So get in the room and make those connections for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, before you go, I had to ask you the Friends of Beauty rapid fire questions. So whatever comes to your mind first, spit it out, or you can elaborate if you need to. So the first one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
Top 3 keys to success. Big faith, super big faith, staying connected to God. Honesty and integrity, making sure that you're just telling people the truth and remaining who you said that you're going to be.
Mhm.
And I would say doing the work that other people are not willing to do, getting in the trenches and not being scared to just, fail and fail big.
Ooh, feel big. Oh my gosh. People will be scared of that one. How do you measure your success?
Um, through the time that I'm able to spend with my family. So the more time that I get to actually be there for the people I love and show up for them, I feel like I'm being a successful person, being fruitful in my life.
I love that. Yes. What's the best advice you've ever received or a piece of advice that's always stuck with you?
Never let a hard time go to your head and never let a good time go to your heart. I think that that's a really good saying for just staying even keeled and understanding that there's just ebb and flows in life and that you just got to stay consistent.
I love that one. I love it. What advice would you give to a beauty pro right now who has been applying for grants pretty consistently, but they haven't won their grants yet? What advice would you give to them?
Work with Pink Print. You gotta come on, get with the winning team. That's where the money resides.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, because I do fancy myself to be a good writer by myself, but I tell people if you're not a good writer, get the Pink Print firm, get your proposal. I've been telling them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a resource that helps you in your business that you could share with the friends and beauty community?
A resource that helps me in my business.
Mhm.
What's something that I'm using every day? Honestly, I'm not in my business as much as I used to be with my operations team. So I'll probably say onlinejobs.ph.
Mhm.
Like build a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little fur baby's trying to come say hi right now. Give me one
Okay.
minute. What's a oh, I did that one already. So the last one, it's a statement that I want you to repeat and just say my name is blank. And the key to longevity and success is blank, whatever you think it is.
Okay. So my name is Stormi Banks, and the key to success and longevity is not giving up and staying in the game.
Not giving up and staying in the game and be consistent too. I don't know why I'm adding stuff to your statement. Before you go, please share your social media, website, however you want people to connect with you, the Pink Print firm, sign up for the event, whatever you want to share.
Hi, friends in beauty. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more or you have any questions, please get up with your girl. I am on Instagram as I am Stormi Banks. And then our company is Pink Print Firm across all social platforms, and our website is the same as well. And if you are in Atlanta, Georgia on April 19th, please show up to the Women's Marketplace and let us know that you came from the Beauty and Friends community.
Yay! Thank you so much, Stormi. This has totally made my whole 2025. Okay, trust and believe me when I say that. Like, this is an absolute pleasure and an honor to have had this conversation with you. I know Stormi now, y'all. Oh my God, I'm just so excited. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.